Yo, what is up, guys? My name is Alex, and today I'm back with another of my F1 21 league race throwbacks, retro races. We're here in Spain for, I think, round 3 of AFS, which was a league I used to race in. I did win the previous round, so I was coming in here with a lot of confidence, but as well, maybe some pressure to perform again. So just preparing for our first run. This is definitely when I was on the better spectrum against of my opponents, I guess. And preparing for the run, as you can see, we're on the mediums. And how F1 2021 worked is that the tire you qualify on is the tire you start the race on. So starting on the mediums could give you a bigger advantage coming into the race itself. But here we are on our first lap, then lining up to get a good exit into turn 1, turning in. It's always a bit of a gamble here, you never know, and we get a stump oversteer. It's almost like Russian roulette there, or you spin or you get a fantastic corner there. And for these mediums you really have to risk it all. But on to my second lap, then I am on the soft tires. Starting my lap, then I am down into P9. There's 5 minutes left, so this is most likely going to be our last run. And coming into turn 1, then out of turn 2, it's a bit of a better time this here, gaining instantly a lot of time, as you can see. Going a bit wide there, actually you want to almost cut in a bit going into turn 3, I think, here, but it's a purple sector 1, so it's a great first sector here for us. As you can see in the top left there, you could see for a split second we are 100 fastest right now in the session. So coming in here is also, you really have to send it all. You need to get inside of that curb and really get out, open up the lane here, cut in and almost hold back a bit. You drop down the gear and keep max revs, or you just drop down a bit here coming into the next turn. Then they have reformed this turn for F1 2022, but it's an older layout, very dangerous turn here. You can very easily spin out of the exit. Great exit coming into these turns, very risky as well. Not trying to get held up by traffic. You really have to risk it for this last turn. I do not go for the risky route where you just go all over the curb. But finishing up this lap, we have gained a lot of time, and across the line we're P3, and you can see Godfather is just so fast here. He's on the mediums in P1 right now. It's gonna be pretty tough to get ahead of him, but against all odds we are actually getting the opportunity to come out again. There's 40 seconds left of the clock, so really pushing it here as we start our final lap. And you can see that we're a bit slower on the straight because we're already losing time. I might have done a bit of a change in the setup, and that might be why. But coming into turn 1, we take the riskier line there and we do gain time, and hopefully we get a good turn here. As you can see, I'm cutting in a bit here this time and it's gaining time. The delta is green, which means that, and it's another purple sector 1 here, which is fantastic. It's almost 110 up already on our personal best as we come in here, and gonna really have to perfect it coming into this turn if I really want a shot at getting pole position here. And cutting in, it is looking very good. A bit of a snap of oversteer. It's not ideal, losing some time. We're around 2 tenths up at the moment, 2.5 tenths up, as we are pushing so hard. Gonna try to get a bit of a better lane here than previously, and we have a purple sector 2 too, so it's a fantastic lap so far. We're about half a second up already. Coming into the next turn, then we're breaking nice and late as we get a fantastic line through here, and we go for the safe route again. Do not want to mess this lap up, as there's 4/10 up gain here. Can we get a last good sector as we cross the line? It's purple lap as we are fastest in the whole session so far, and we beat him by a tiny margin. It's around 2 tenths there to beat him, and very lucky there. And looking, Godfather is in the pits then, and then Yusuf goes up in the P2, so there's already a bit of a gap in between myself and Godfather, which is most likely going to be the person to that we're gonna have to fight the most here to hopefully win this race. But that is very good for us as we get P1 for qualifying, and we have to move on to the race. But now lining up on the grid, throwback to the F1 2021 game where you do not get to line up on the grid manually. And we have Yusuf in P2, and he is actually very, very good at starts. And was of Godfather in P3, which shouldn't be as much of a problem because he's on the mediums, and getting a good start against those softs on medium especially is very difficult. So 5 lights are on, we're preparing high revs as the lights are out, and it's a lot of wheel spin for me. I am on no traction control, I'm still struggling to learn how to get on the power and get good starts. But that's Godfather then, still in P3, he's lurking down the inside, but we did not let him go by as Yusuf is looking very shaky up front. But that is very unfortunate. That is us down into P2 already. It just like in Australia, where I'm just not getting these starts in. But on to lap 2 then, Yusuf with the purple lap, and he's looking very fast up front. If we just look back then, Godfather getting into that turn, I go a bit wide, but Godfather, he spins around, and Godfather now flies down the grid as he's out of top 5. He's very far back, and that is a huge mistake, and very unfortunate for him. But I think that is pretty good for us and instantly upping our chances to win this race. And yeah, that's tough, but it's good for us as we move on to lap 3. It's a purple lap for us as we're gaining a bit on Yusuf. We are going to start using some ERS as well, and coming into turn 1, it's always or you completely send it or you don't touch the curb at all, because that's been catching out a lot of drivers. And it is like I said, you can only touch it or completely send it. If you do touch it, then you're gone. You need to attack it fully. As you can see there, I decide not to pit, but just a bit after that, the safety car comes out, which is super unfortunate. I could have known, but flying into the pits then. We're still up in P1, but there are some guys that were behind us. I might have been a bit lucky. I did have a decent gap though, but Easy Rider and Fruto Klima are staying behind us, and Godfather is also diving into the pit lane. We can see that he's caught up a drive-through penalty, so that is completely taking him out of contention to win this race, which is great for us. But we're down into P2 now, and I am quite unsure if the driver ahead started on the mediums or is just having some luck there and coming out far ahead of us. But then we are here into lap 10. Safety car is coming in, and the tires are looking pretty cold. I'm trying to do some burnouts as I'm very far behind. If he starts now, then I'm screwed, which he does, and I get a little snap of oversteer. And we are already over a second behind, and Nerai is breathing down our rear wing as he's catching in. He's 1/10 now, almost side by side. I'm pushing him wide and then going back to my lane and give him just enough space, and we are just fine then. So we keep our P2 position, and then onto lap 12, there's another safety car as Aston Martin pits ahead of us, and now we are controlling the grid. We got Nerai still behind us on the hards, and I would not be surprised if he's going to the end on those tires. But that is us up into P1 now, and there's been 6 crashes this race. But then starting, I get a massive snap of oversteer, and the tires are cold. I could have slowed down, but I decided to keep on going because we survived Nerai's attack last time. This time, we're giving him the outside lane as we're taking the inside ourselves. We brake very late, but he's still there as we give him enough space, but he just pushes us off track, and gets us down into P2. And I was quite unsure if he was letting us by here or not, but that's gonna result in him having quite the battle with Easy Rider as Nerai and Easy Rider going side by side into the turn. I can't quite look back as I need to focus on my own race, but that is the two side by side as they are still side by side. But then Nerai manages to get ahead, which is good for him. But then on to lap 33 has been not so eventful, moving on from those laps, and you can see my left front tires on 72% tire wear, and I have 3 seconds of penalties So it's really game over for me here. There's no way I'm winning this race. And I decide to show some sportsmanship and slow down and let Fruto Klima cross the line first, because winning a race is one thing, but crossing the line first always feels so much better. This would go on to be Fruto Klima's first win, who, by the way, is a crazy fast driver right now. He's renamed himself to Pera, which is great, and he's very fast. But then Fruto Klima here, crossing the line first, winning the Spanish Grand Prix. We come into P2, and it has been a great race for me. I am very happy with the result, and massive congratulations to Fruto Klima for a great race. Anyways, that's it for today. If you enjoyed, then make sure to like and subscribe. I stream weekly on my Twitch, which is down below in the description. And that's it for me. Have a good one.